Hello, Mr. Coltrane and other IB students. Today I'm going to start my reading record with this YouTube channel, and this is more of a test video, and I'm going to start by talking about poverty in the 10th Man, which is what I wrote my focus essay on. I found that poverty drove some of the characters, Jean Vier and Charlot specifically, to act in more of a way that wouldn't be typical of someone who wasn't poor like they were. While in prison, Jean Vier had the opportunity to sell his life for a bunch of money and a nice house for his sister and his mother, which he chose to do because he wasn't able to provide that for them himself. And so he took up the opportunity and all the courage he had and wrote a will and died in the place of Charlot. I found that characterized Jean Vier as someone who had courage and who had a deep devotion to his family, even though it did lead him to his death. So it could be argued that he wasn't that close if he would have just sent off all this money and died, instead of, living poor but together. And after he loses all of his wealth, Charlot is stuck homeless and without any money until, of course, Kuros gives him some money for him just to get by because he mistakes him for his friend. But anyway, he ends up having to go back to his old house, which isn't his house anymore. It's Jean Vier's sister and her mother, that's who's living there. And he is, kind of desperate, and he, has to start going there and begging and, has to be, start living there as more of a servant when before he was, king of the house, but not anymore. He's, beneath these two women. And even though he does find some happiness in that, and he even falls in love with Therese, he, was still forced to go back to his old house and beg because he was poor, and he didn't want to have to do that. He had too much pride, but he still had to. And so that characterized him as someone who kind of cowardly gave away all of his wealth and then regretted the decision and had to go back and, just try to fight his way out of poverty by being a housemaid, or a butler, I guess. Anyway, this was just a test, so don't grade me on it. Thank you.